Monday, start of a brand new week, new beginnings, new hopes, and new time for everything, especially in New England. I am so happy with the news that I got on Friday that the Patriots decided to release Antonio Brown. This guy is a big time headache, and I said it from the get go. What can you really say? It's your team. You hope it works itself out in a sense of the word. Actually, it was very hard to be able to catch the game against Miami, knowing this guy was in the lineup. So it is a relief that Antonio Brown is no longer a member of the New England Patriots. And I never really could figure out why Bill took the chance on this guy. Yes, I understand he's tried this before. Could the guy help their team? Of course. Were the New England Patriots better with Antonio Brown? I think so. I think it would be unfair to say that, seeing as he's touted as one of the top five wide receivers in the game. But ultimately, a guy's behavior like this, it showed no effort whatsoever of trying to turn itself around. And I know there's been guys pointed out over time that have done maybe other things probably as bad, if not worse, than what Antonio Brown has been going through. But this guy here just does not stop. He cannot help himself. And I think one of the best things I've read, and of course this was on Friday, so a lot has come out since in different YouTube channels, different publications and things like this. But you know what? One of the best things I heard was by Nick Wright. Him and Chris Carter do a show. And he equated this to, you remember the movie by Richard Pryor, Brewster's Millions. And John Candy was in that movie as well. And Brewster's Millions is all about this guy who his uncle leaves him $30 million, and he has to blow it in 30 days in order to get $300 million. Well, the similarity, the comparison is extremely similar. Antonio Brown has essentially blown $30 million in 30 days. 30 plus to be exact when you figure everything into it. And on his return, they figure a couple of game checks of $500,000, which is really peanuts in the bigger scheme of things when you think about it. To you and I watching and seeing this, no, that would be huge money. But not to those guys when they've dealt in this kind of coin for a bit. So the man and then it wasn't bad enough. He gets let go. He's right back on social media, going at it again. And then comes yesterday morning, and he jumps on again to start throwing haymakers and bombs and stuff all throughout Twitterland and what's it called? IG, Instagram. Yeah, I have an Instagram account. I don't follow it much. So, I mean, he just completely continues to shoot himself in the foot. And, of course, the question becomes, will he ever play in the NFL again? Who knows? It would not surprise me because of all the leagues out there, I think the NFL has placed himself as the scum of all professional sports. It truly is. Hypocrisy is rampant in the National Football League. There's things you can say about the other leagues for sure. But hypocrisy is by far the worst in the NFL. The other reason I didn't like the whole Antonio Brown thing, and of course they didn't know this at the time because information got held back. They didn't realize he was going to be charged with have a civil suit come against him for rape and all these kind of things. But you just knew. Like, the guy had a past track record of things. Like, this is a guy we're talking about threw shit out of a 14-story apartment window and came down and missed a year-and-a-half-old kid by feet. I mean, that's insane, right? Over 100 miles an hour driving in suburban Pennsylvania, outside of Pittsburgh. It's just, this guy just is unhinged, right? But, some of the things he's talking about is true. And kind of the hypocrisy with Robert Kraft is, here's a guy, if you'll recall, last year prior to the Super Bowl, gets caught at a massage parlor, not so much to grab a massage, but, other things that, could perhaps be offered at a massage parlor behind the closed doors. We'll leave it to your imagination. I think the story is already well known. In other words, in men's terms, he was looking to get his horn scraped. It's not my business to tell Robert Kraft where about to get his satisfaction from, but I'm thinking, being a multi-billionaire, there would have been perhaps easier ways to go on about your business than how you did it, positioning yourself to allow yourself to get caught. Another story, another time. But the fact that he's letting, he played a big role in the decision to cut him, makes it somewhat hypocritical, right? Of course, the charges were dropped against Kraft and all this, so we can't take that out of the equation. But let's just grin and bear, because you know how sometimes those stories work itself out. So yeah, I mean, the one thing Antonio Brown is proving here is he's really showing how sleazy, how much of a scumbag a lot of the NFL is. And it makes you wonder, what does that make us as fans, right, that support this? I mean, we love the game, is what it is. You love the game, and you love that game being played by its very best players. And this is why, we talked about this on the, last edition of the Sunday Night Sports Guys, me and Bladesy. You really need to separate reality from fiction, right? And let's face it, that's a lot about what sports is. It's entertainment. End of the day, it's entertainment, right? Most of us, unless you're somebody that bets heavily into all this and that kind of dictates your life and your future, most of us, it's entertainment. And we wake up Monday morning after watching Sunday games and we go back to work. We do our thing. Watch a hockey game, a baseball game, basketball game, middle of the week, we go back to work, right? It entertains us, right? And we invest ourselves probably more emotionally into these things than we really ought to. There's probably more important things in our lives that we could be more attached to, but to each his own. But yeah, it's come to a head where they cut bait with him, and I mean, what can you say? I mean, the guy goes out, he attacks the owner of the Patriots now. What do I say? I mean, do they band together? Is it like, is that the like Colin Kaepernick, who took a knee and created such public outcry that they, that was it. They cut him off at the root. Well, they do the same with Antonio Brown, and that raises an argument in other cases is about if should AB be allowed to come back based on everything that's gone on, compared to Colin Kaepernick, who's being blackballed, right? Makes you wonder, right? Makes you wonder. I think if Colin Kaepernick was a top three quarterback, let's say he's playing kind of like Pat Mahomes, he'd still be in the game. This is the hypocrisy. This is the wretchedness of the National Football League, and probably goes on in other sports and things that we just don't know about. But the NFL, they understand their clout. They understand their power. They will flaunt it in our faces and get away with it because we let them get away with it. Because we love the game. We want to watch the game, isn't it? Isn't that what we do? That's how we defend ourselves. This is how we defend our support, which is what we're doing when this stuff is going on, and we don't take a stand and say, that's it, I'm done watching this. Their moral compass is just so far gone that I just can't have nothing to do with it. We don't do that. That's not reality. Some people have, others, like myself, haven't. Makes you wonder about myself. Anyway, that's my daily for today. Last word, no more Antonio Brown. I don't want to hear about it. They'll probably talk about it a little bit on the Sunday Night Sports Guys, which is coming on this Thursday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. If you want to catch that show with Bladesy and T-Mac and myself, great time, great discussion. We'll be talking about the NFL, a little bit about looking back at Week 3, and then we'll look into Week 4, which is obviously the first week where bye weeks come into play. So talk on that and a host of other things. So thanks so much for tuning in today. Appreciate your support. If you're coming across this video for the first time, please hit the subscribe button. Would love to have you on board. We appreciate everybody who subscribes to our channel because we value your opinion as well. Been getting a few opinions now, a few comments on some of my other Duke's Daily videos. and really appreciated them, especially to the guys who talked about the whole Colin Kaepernick thing. They shared some Google material for me to go look at and kind of give me a little bit more in depth. And I have to say, it was very informative and certainly has affected my opinion where the Colin Kaepernick story is concerned. So, anyway, thanks for that, guys. Appreciate it. So, everybody, have yourselves a great Monday. Get out there, enjoy your day, because guess what? It's always better on this side of the grass. Remember that, guys. It is. It's really good on this side. So, everybody, have yourselves a great day. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye for now.